Lindsie Chrisley shades family's return to television. It is no secret that Lindsie Chrisley's family has been gearing up to return to television. In fact, her sister Savannah has shared a few behind-the-scenes videos and photos to confirm they were actively filming. The details of exactly what they were filming, or what network they were filming for, however, remained unknown. One big question fans have is simple: is Lindsie Chrisley going to join the family on television? Turns out, she has some pretty big feelings about her family returning to television, and she recently took to her Instagram to seemingly throw some shade their direction over it. Did she want to return to television? As far as fans knew, Lindsie Chrisley had mended bridges with her family. Todd and Julie Chrisley's arrest appeared to bring the family together, and when news of Lindsie Chrisley's divorce broke, Todd had the opportunity to reconnect with his daughter. Todd, Julie, Savannah, and Lindsie even came together for a massive podcast event involving all three of their podcasts, where they sat down together for the first time in a long time and talked openly about their family with Chrisley Knows Best fans. In regards to reality TV, fans know it wasn't a great experience for Lindsie, so they were pretty sure she wasn't interested in going back. But that didn't stop them from asking her anytime she hosted Q&A sessions on her Instagram profile. Surprisingly, Lindsie Chrisley revealed the door was not shut on reality TV. She was open to returning. She, however, had some stipulations. Lindsie was not interested in playing a character or being forced to read a script. If she was going to be on television, it was important that it was actual reality, and that her side of things was included in the narrative. Now, this gave fans hope that Lindsie may return to TV, as her sister Savannah claimed they wanted the same thing as Chrisley Knows Best turned into more of a comedy show for the family than actual reality. Lindsie Chrisley seemingly shades family no longer interested. Todd Chrisley's oldest daughter took to Instagram toward the end of this week to share a collection of photos and videos, many of which featured herself and her son Jackson. The post itself was very long, and there was a lot to unpack. But one topic that came up was reality TV. Namely, it was the fact that she had been approached about possibly returning to a documentary. Lindsie noted that she wanted to address the rumors surrounding her family's return for a documentary. Sadly for those that hoped for her return, she quickly crushed that hope. She told her followers she declined to participate in the documentary. Lindsie Chrisley, however, appeared to toss some shade at her family, noting that she didn't decline because she didn't want to do it. Turns out, Lindsie Chrisley declined because she refused to participate in a project that didn't allow all sides of the story to be told. Lindsie added that she's had a lot of hard conversations and made a lot of personal decisions. She continued, "I've learned to sit quietly with God instead of trying to figure everything out on my own. He takes my anxiety and replaces it with peace, wisdom, and security. I trust in Him." The bright glow of studio lights and the hum of production crews often create an illusion of perfection. For the Chrisley family, that illusion had once been their lifeline, weaving together their intricate blend of charm, wit, and chaos on television screens across the nation. But as Todd and Julie Chrisley's return to television buzzed through social media, one voice stood apart in subtle defiance. Lindsie Chrisley, the eldest daughter who had long distanced herself from the family's drama-laden spotlight. Lindsie's stance wasn't exactly unexpected. Over the years, she had carved out a path distinctly her own, often choosing privacy and authenticity over the curated perfection of the Chrisley brand. Her response to the family's return wasn't a fiery tirade or a public brawl, but a shade-laden commentary dripping with nuance, a subtle sting in social media posts. Sometimes, the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows, Lindsie posted on Instagram, accompanying an image of herself sipping coffee in a sunlit garden. The caption, innocuous at first glance, carried a weight that only those familiar with the Chrisley saga could grasp. The comments section erupted with speculation. Fans dissected her words, debating whether they were a veiled jab at her family's attempt to recapture their former glory, despite their ongoing legal troubles. This wasn't the first time Lindsie had used her platform to subtly address her complicated relationship with her family. However, this time felt different. The stakes were higher. Todd and Julie's impending television project was reportedly aimed at a redemption arc, a narrative that didn't sit well with Lindsie, who had previously accused her father of using manipulation and control tactics to maintain the family's image. The public versus the private Lindsie. Lindsie had built her life away from the Chrisley name. Her successful podcast, Coffee Convos, often tackled real-life struggles, motherhood, and her journey toward personal growth. While she seldom spoke directly about her family's controversies, her audience could sense the undercurrents of her strained relationship. The thing about reality TV, Lindsie said in a recent episode, is that it's never quite real. It's an edited version of chaos. And sometimes, what's left on the cutting room floor is the truth. Her words struck a chord with listeners, many of whom praised her for prioritizing her peace over public drama. A history of fractures. The Chrisley family's fissures had been plastered over for years, but the cracks became impossible to ignore during Todd and Julie's federal tax fraud case. The trial not only threatened their financial empire, but also exposed long-simmering tensions within the family. Lindsie, who had testified against her father, became a target for public scrutiny. In an emotional interview at the time, Lindsie revealed, "I didn't choose this life, but I've chosen to walk away from it. My story isn't tied to anyone else's narrative." This history made her shading of the Chrisley comeback all the more poignant. While her family seemed intent on rebuilding their public persona, Lindsie remained steadfast in her commitment to authenticity. Behind the scenes of the comeback, reports suggested that Todd and Julie's new television project would delve into their legal battles, their time in prison, and their path to redemption. "It's about showing the world who we truly are," a source close to the Chrisleys said. But for Lindsie, the idea of presenting a sanitized version of their struggles seemed disingenuous. Her perspective resonated with fans who had grown weary of reality TV's glossy veneers. "What about accountability?" One fan commented under her Instagram post. "You're the only Chrisley keeping it real." Lindsay's quiet rebellion. Rather than engage in direct confrontation, Lindsie channeled her energy into her work and her family. Her podcast episodes following the announcement were filled with empowering messages about setting boundaries and protecting one's mental health. "I've learned that sometimes the best way to move forward is to stop looking back," she said during one episode. "Not every chapter needs to be revisited, especially the ones that hurt." Her words, though general, felt like a clear nod to her family's decision to return to the public eye. The family's reaction. While Todd and Julie hadn't publicly addressed Lindsay's commentary, insiders claimed that the tension was palpable. "Todd feels like Lindsie is turning her back on the family," a source said. "He doesn't understand why she can't support their decision." But for Lindsie, the issue wasn't about loyalty. It was about integrity. She had spent years rebuilding her life away from the Chrisley brand, and she wasn't about to let their new venture pull her back into the fold. A new era for Lindsie. As the Chrisleys prepared to step back into the limelight, Lindsie seemed more determined than ever to stay in her own lane. Her focus remained on her son, her podcast, and her mental well-being. In a candid moment on Coffee Convos, Lindsie reflected on her journey. "I've learned that you can love people from a distance. Sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is step away and let them live their lives, while you live yours." Her words served as a powerful reminder that family bonds, while important, shouldn't come at the cost of one's peace. The future of the Chrisley legacy. While the Chrisley family's return to television is sure to reignite interest in their story, it's clear that Lindsay's path lies elsewhere. Her quiet rebellion against the manufactured narratives of reality TV has earned her respect from fans who value authenticity over theatrics. As the cameras roll and the Chrisleys attempt to rewrite their story, Lindsay's voice remains a powerful counterpoint. In a world obsessed with image and redemption arcs, her unwavering commitment to her truth is a refreshing reminder that sometimes the best way to shine is to step out of the spotlight entirely.